This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
We have 4 unbeaten teams that are ready to take the stage, and today we're going to find out which 2 are heading to the upper bracket final. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 8 of Valorant Masters Tokyo. Of course, coming at you live from the Tipstar Dome Arena right here in Chiba. Of course, I'm Golden Boy, and joining me on the desk, it's actually Achilleos, and I'm so happy to say his name in a live event. It's Paperthin! It's good to see you, buddy.
I'm excited to be here, man. We had a great time yesterday casting the NRG DRX match, and now we're gonna have a lot of fun watching two really good games today.
Yeah, and
great time might be a little bit bold.
The fans are loaded up, but you know, Seth, why are you wearing sunglasses, bro?
Because I knew I was going to be on a desk with 2 bald guys, and that light was just going to be bouncing off and just blasting me in the face. So I figured I'd just go ahead and shield myself.
I brought an extra pair just in case you needed them. So,
oh, what a friend! Always look at that. I mean, obviously, there's just a lot of shine coming that way, but that just means that we shine bright like a star, boo boo. That's all that really means.
I feel like Psycho right now.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So we'll call Don, let him know it's good. In any case, guys, let's go ahead and talk about what happened in yesterday's elimination matches. First, it was Loud facing off against Edward Gaming, and then, of course, we were served the upset of the year. As we saw it happen, it happened to us in real time. We had to accept it and believe it. I can't believe Paperthin, Loud, 0-4 here in Tokyo.
It's shocking. I mean, you could understand maybe they drop one and they're just kind of getting warmed up. They talked about it in some of their, post-match, interviews and press conferences and things where they just didn't feel like they were comfortable. They felt like some of the other teams maybe had an advantage because they got to play in the group stages and those kind of things. But
yeah,
clearly that was not the case. I mean, this is just a team that it just wasn't fully anticipating what EDG was going to bring against them yesterday. I don't think a lot of teams can. I mean, obviously Team Liquid handled them well, but EDG is on another level.
When you think about Team Liquid, that situation in itself was a little difficult for them because it came down really to a 50-50 in the end. So if anything, EDG proved that they can also take it to the #1 EMEA seed.
No, they absolutely can. The run that they have been on has been absolutely incredible. TL's been the only one that's been able to deal with them so far, and they are still fired up. And that was still a very close series, as you say, went down to the wire in that last final map. But you could see that they weren't necessarily really upset with it. They've already achieved their goal of making it into the top 8. Anything from here is a bit of a bonus for the side of EDG.
Yeah.
But the camaraderie that was shown on stage, Rengar standing up, applauding after the ace there for Kong Kong, it was just such a wholesome series. And I think there's a very real chance that we could see those teams potentially clash again as well.
Oh, yeah, and I really, really am excited about that one. But, of course, it takes us over to our next matchup. We have DRX, who would be taking on NRG yet again. And it was hilarious because we had Achilleos and Paperthin casting another DRX game, your first game that you casted here in Tokyo, Paperthin, and it was a DRX matchup. Unfortunately for the boys, it was not the outcome that they wanted. NRG looked really clean.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, this has now kind of been the story of this NRG core versus DRX is that they have their number. They have good reads against them. Yeah, DRX came out swinging on Pearl, but Haven was just a masterclass. NRG has such a good read on that map. They had such good reads on how DRX wants to play. And, I was talking to Finesse before the match yesterday, and he just said, look, we play very similar. So sometimes it is close, but clearly yesterday they really had them downloaded.
Yeah, I mean, the wheels have been coming off for quite some time, to be frank, for DRX. So, as upset as we are to kind of send them home, we also anticipated that this was going to happen because NRG just have been a bit of a cut above. Even with their own struggles, they have been a cut above DRX this season, and it's just the way that it is. And all we can hope for as specific representatives is that DRX get their stuff together when it comes down to champions. They've got a little bit of time to try to prepare for that one. For NRG, though, not as much time to prepare because they're still here in this tournament, and there's very fast turnarounds when you're in that lower bracket.
Oh, yeah, indeed there is. It does feel weird, though, to have a tournament and have no Korean representation left in this. It's a bit of a heartbreaker for sure.
We claim Potter.
Yeah.
We claim Potter.
You know what? I like that. Let's go ahead and takes us to our bracket. Of course, with those 2 eliminations, we're now down to our top 6. And boy, oh boy, is this shrinking down. So as you can see, we have HyperX and Fnatic, and then our first match of the day is going to be Team Liquid taking on Evil Geniuses, and awaiting the loser of those games down in the lower bracket will be NRG and EDG. PDG, who are also set potentially on a collision course with one another as well. This bracket, Seth, it's nuts. I mean, genuinely, we have still Pacific representation left, which is nice, but it's going to be tough because they're going up against Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing because they were going up against DRX. Clearly, that didn't matter. DRX failing to just be able to beat content creators. They lost the SOM, they lost the CGRS. So if you're a streamer, you've got a leg up over them, I suppose.
Think back to F4Q as well back in the day.
That's true. First team to take them down. Content creators, just their curse, I suppose.
Just a couple streamers.
Yeah, just a couple streamers in a dream, keeping it alive. But yeah, it's still going to get tougher for the side of PRX because, again, DRX have already been looking disjointed. HyperX were already able to take them down. And now that they best them with CGRS in the mix, there's still some hope here, but it's going to be difficult.
I always appreciate the Pacific hopium. It's always nice, but I hope as well. And we'll talk more about that matchup later on today. But before we get into the matches, we actually did want to spend a moment to highlight some of the really cool things that are happening here in Chiba. Actually, there's this suspended monorail that you can go through the city, and it's wrapped completely with VALORANT Masters swag. It looks really cool. The fans have been taking it every single day to come to this venue. It really has been super cool to watch, and also I just love transportation in Japan, if I'm being real with y'all. So yeah, this is happening, and it has been really cool to kind of see how the city of Chiba Paperthin has been embracing this, but also it's kind of cool to see how our fellow talent team has been taking to this too, because I don't know if y'all know, but Mimi is like a big train fanatic. She has her day off today, but today we're going to celebrate her love for chains.
Well, this is where she and I get along very, very well, because I also love trains. Every time I come to Japan, I'm like, I got to take the Shinkansen, I got to take the trains, and they're always laid out with these really cool designs, so it's really awesome to see that VALORANT is on there. A lot of times it's, local Japan stuff, even anime stuff sometimes, so now we get to have this full experience of this absolutely wonderful country.
By the way, I'm taking credit for this, by the way, because I wanted to go to I think it's Geigo or Gigo, I don't remember, I don't know how to pronounce the name of the arcade. I wanted to go, I found the train game, and then Mimi sat there the entire time.
Yeah, I wanted to tell her about it, but didn't get to see her until last night. And I was like, oh, there's a train game in the arcades, by the way. She's like, I have already been playing.
But actually, the reason why we're talking about this is that, we wanted to learn a little bit more about what, easy access to events and the ability to be able to come to a venue like this means to, the folks who live here. And of course, the people in Chiba have been really, really kind to allow us to be able to go and check out and even film on the monorail. And we did get an opportunity to really figure out what does the train systems, what does the resident public transportation mean to the people of Chiba. Mimi went for it. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Hi, I'm Mimi, and I'm here at the Chiba Urban Monorail at the Chiba Koen stop. This is the last stop on the line for fans coming to VALORANT Masters Tokyo, and this system is very unique for a train. It's what's called a suspended monorail, which means the train is actually hanging from a single track above it, and it's one of only 7 such systems in the world, but this one in Chiba is the longest, and the train itself is quite unique, but for its use, it's just like any other train in Japan. People use it to go to work, to meet friends, get food, or go to an event like this one. And for fans of VALORANT, for the longest time, it's been separated. With COVID and restrictions here in Japan, fans have been at home, watching their favorite teams play, playing the game themselves, learning and growing in excitement for it. So events like this are something special here. In Japan, the trains provide an element of connection that not a lot of other countries have. Really, no matter where you are in the country, you can hop on a train between cities and maybe find yourself here at the last stop at Chiba Koen to arrive at this event. Well, trains are just a form of transportation, something mundane. It's also something that brings people together, allows people, like the VALORANT fans arriving for this event, to meet up with old friends, find new ones, and experience something that they wouldn't otherwise.
Firstly, I do want to say very well done, Mimi, on that, and also to just see him. We're talking about this because the audience that have been here has been nothing short of remarkable and incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And I really hope that if we ever get to do an event here again, that more fans from around the world get to come and experience this, because this truly is an experience unlike anything I've ever experienced in my career. So it really has been fun to witness, Seth.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first esports event being in Tokyo. I've come here a couple times, been to concerts, and the crowd even in concerts and whatnot here in Japan, very similar vibe. Everyone is just having a great time. Everyone is just cheering for the music, whether you're there to see that opening act band or the one after it. You stick around, you applaud for everybody. It's been absolutely incredible, and I'm just happy that it also has bled through to the broadcast for the people who are watching at home, because you can just tell how electric it is in here, how kind everybody is, and how excited they are to just sit down and watch Valorant.
Yeah. And everybody here is like so aware of what's going on. They're cheering for all the players, all the teams. It is really just exciting to see them just be passionate about this esport in general. And I had the chance to come to the Riot 1 event in Yokohama last year, where there was, I think, about 8,000 people or something like that, and it was crazy. And I mean, at the time, they couldn't cheer because of the COVID restrictions like they can today. Now they just had to use their boom whackers, but man, it was such an emotional event. It was the
boom whackers.
I don't know.
Boomsticks.
The boomsticks.
I get it, but boom whackers is a good one.
That's what we call them back at home. But.
No, honestly, and we do want to thank the people of Chiba for allowing us to be able to film on that train. It was very kind, and there's plenty of more coming from that as well. So hopefully you guys get to see it. But in any case, though, if you're out there tweeting about trains, make sure you use that hashtag VCT as well as Valorant Masters. We want to hear from you throughout the broadcast today. And since we're talking about trains, let's go ahead and transition over to today's poll question. Which team is on track for the upper bracket final? People hate me. The Evil Express, Train Liquid, the Paper Train, or I can't believe it, Train Addict? That doesn't sound great. Of course, scan the QR code below, and of course we'll have the results in just a little bit. Train Addict.
Train Addict.
Train Addict.
It's where you put all your train sets.
Okay. That's where
you
build
them in a box.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. In any case, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to preview our first match of the day. We're talking about Boostio versus Redgar, Potter versus Doom Bros. It's, of course, going to be Evil Geniuses taking on Team Liquid. Of course, we'll see you on the other side. And I, of course, meant Emil.
Unbelievable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Masters Tokyo. That's another John Locke special. In today's first match, though, we have NA Cinderella team of Evil Geniuses taking on the EMEA champs in Team Liquid. And Seth, this is a matchup that we're all excited for, because this is obviously going to be, you know, of course, according to the standings, right? Say what you will about Fnatic, but this is the #1 team coming out of EMEA, going up against a plucky underdog in EG that has proven a lot of people wrong. But for Team Liquid, they have been tested. We've seen them be taken to the limit against EDG.
Yeah, no, it was a really close series. Again, Liquid, they were tested. It's the only series that we've seen from them so far here at this event, given that they were seeded forward. But even saying, like, the EMEA champions, it still feels a little bit weird.
It does.
Because it did not look like that was going to be at all possible, given the way that the year started for them all the way back over at Lock-In. It has been a monstrous glow-up for the side of Team Liquid to be able to, you know, best Fnatic and then come into this series as an opening match and be the ones to send EDG down to that lower bracket. It was hard fought, but they managed to get it done at the very end. Did drop that map, you know, in the midway there of split with 13 and 8. But this one, as we got to Lotus, it was completely down to the wire, but TL were just barely able to clinch it at the very end with Soulcast delivering that triple kill to get them across the line. This is a team that can make adjustments, that is, you know, at times looking absolutely unstoppable, but so too is EG. And this is going to be the biggest test potentially for them in this entire tournament.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, it goes without saying, though, Paper Thin, right, that this Team Liquid squad, despite them being challenged, understands how to overcome that kind of adversity on the server.
Yeah, they really are just this battle-tested team. It seemed like even with some of the really unique macro ideas that EDG is bringing, stuff we haven't really seen from them before, like on Haven, where they're pushing a lot of space to fake hit and to, like, do different things, that Team Liquid really adjusted nicely to some of those unique ideas that EDG was bringing. So I was really, really impressed with the way that they handled some of this adversity. A really strong EDG team, as we all know now for sure, that it's not just the individual talent on this EDG squad that is bringing them over the line anymore. It is now these macro ideas as well. But Team Liquid has this great wherewithal, especially players like Nats and Soulcast, who kind of can just read the moves of EDG a little bit better and make these brilliant counter moves.
Yeah, and thankfully we were able to get an opportunity to catch up with Redguard. Doug is standing by. Doug, what you got for us?
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Redguard, quick question for you. You've taken down Kong, but now you have to deal with Demon 1. That's a different beast. Is your approach the same?
Yeah, of course. We already stoned one hype guy. It's time for the second, right?
Best of luck to you today. Back to you, GB.
There's Redguard, looking forward to seeing what he could do. Of course, Team Liquid being led by the big man with the big brain. And look, I'm a Redguard stan, always have been, always will be. Nothing will ever change. And what helps out is that he also delivers in the server when it counts. It's not just the calls. He's honestly kind of feels like Bustio in that instance, right? Where they both contribute effectively. I just love that Redguard always goes for very Redguard ideas.
Yeah, every now and then he comes up with something you're like, okay, what in the hell is he cooking? You know, what is going on? And sometimes those things fall flat, but more often than not, as of late, they've been looking better and better. And when he does pull off something wild, you're like, wow, okay, he's just a genius. He's a madman, he's a mad scientist, but it's working it.
Yeah, it truly is. But of course, for a close... Oh, what were you going to say, Pippin? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, I just think that there's brilliant macro ideas for them as well. Sometimes there's some weird micro mistakes, but yeah, overall, they're really good.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you 100%. It definitely is going to be very interesting to see how they kind of incorporate, you know, those micro ideas, especially against evil geniuses, who they're always looking for those opportunities to shut that down. But of course, for a closer look on the squad, and of course, their road here in Masters Tokyo, let's go ahead and hear from Redguard and Safe once again.
I think in Sao Paulo, when we lost to Team Secret, it was like hard punch into our faces, and we should like find out what was the issues, what was the problems. We didn't give up after one lose. We didn't think about the changes in the roster. We just want to win. So our performance during the season, it was, in my opinion, kind of good because we evolved during the season, like I thought, because our play style and all other stuff, it's that thing that you can't like make in one day. You need a lot of games to find out what is like works for you, what is not, and I think we did pretty good during the season. I think it surprised me that during the season some teams play worse than I thought, because I think we had in EMEA really like good teams. I really thought that we have a strong like individual players, but sometimes they're not stacking, and I'm really disappointed. But I thought that on the next season we're gonna be much stronger, but right now we protect our EMEA crowd.
I didn't see Fnatic as unbeatable, I guess. You could say that they had a head start from the other teams because they had the core of their roster and we needed more time, and the more time we had, the better we got, and we proved it. Revenge is sweet.
And the winners, the VCT EMEA Team Liquid!
I mean, Nats gives me complete freedom because I can rely on him anchoring any site. I can rely on him getting the 3Ks or 2Ks, or at least delaying long enough for me to just pop off or get ready to help him. With Redgar calling, I feel like he gave me the responsibility to decide what I'm gonna do and what I do with the players around me. And that made it super easy for me to play, and it also unlocked a lot of ideas in my own head, how to approach the game, the timings people take, and what I can do to counter that. So yeah, my IGL is GOATed.
I think that the safe can like win them all, you know, because it's my dudes, it's my teammate. I know that he's better and I can't lose confidence in my teammates. I think when a lot of people saying that it's right now the Fnatic era and no one can beat them and other stuff, they might be true, but the main thing is when you're winning one tournament and proves nothing in esports, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but if they won like 3 or 4 tournaments in a row, yeah, that you can definitely say like these things, right? But every time you need to prove that. I think that we can win not only Fnatic but all other teams. If I gonna think that we can't win them or the other team on the tournament, why I'm here? I already start from EMEA, I made like my goal is real. The second is Tokyo and the third is Champions, so let's make the second point valuable.
Very fascinating perspective there, and obviously very much founded in reality because they beat Fnatic. They are the champions of EMEA, Clinton, and on top of that, where they were at the beginning of the season, lock-in till now is just like a crazy turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make the argument this is the most improved team throughout the year. I mean, losing to Team Secret at lock-in, coming all the way through to where they are now is just very impressive. But Evil Geniuses as well, man, I am...
Speaking of improvement.
Yes, both these teams are incredibly improved. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can make the argument, right? Team Liquid or EG, maybe T1 if you wanted to go down that route. But these are both just teams that have really worked out a lot of the problems that they saw at the early part of the year. They were really just like able to sit down and kind of talk it out, kind of get on the same page and find just impressive performances. So, you know, on the screen here, is EG the real deal? I say yes. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind now.
And then when I do think about that Team Liquid EG conversation, yeah, they both have had similar pathways. Just the difference is when it mattered most, Team Liquid were able to get that championship, beat Fnatic in the finals, whereas EG struggled at that point. But now it feels like we have an even different version from EG than what we saw in America, Seth. Like they're growing over time. It's like Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, I mean, obviously limited pool because they have just kept themselves in this upper bracket. So we haven't gotten to see too much of them, but it still just feels like they continue to iterate on everything that they've had in the past and just grow it. Find, you know, where the holes are in the armor and say like, okay, now we're going to patch that up and reinforce it. And a lot of that has been on the back of Potter. She's been absolutely stellar for this team, and the team has been working with her system to ensure success. And they're just absolutely insane, this squad.
Yeah, and they've been doing just such a brilliant job, Clinton, of like really anticipating what their opponent is going to be throwing at them and then playing effectively with that information. The growth from this team, as Seth had pointed out, is really outstanding.
Yeah, I fully agree. And a big part of it is not just like their prep and their strategies, it's their on-the-fly thinking, coming in there and being able to react, knowing, you know, the situations when their opponent has their ults ready and how to play ahead of it. You know, they'll get ahead of these rolling thunder so that they put their teams in bad positions or other ults like that, where they're able to really counter some of the macro ideas, the strategic ideas that teams want to come into a round with, try to use against them, and they're one step ahead of you almost every time.
Yeah, it really has been fascinating to watch EG grow into this dominant force. And I know a lot of people are still questioning whether or not this team is legit, but I mean, I think it goes without saying they're here now. They most definitely are. Earlier, though, we did get Doug, who managed to catch a word with Boostio. Doug standing by.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Boostio, quick question for you. What will be the key to success for you guys to take down Liquid today?
Yeah, the key to success is probably just Demon 1 go kill, and then just hit B.
Excellent strat. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Hit B.
Hit B.
Guess we're getting Pearl today.
Yeah, Boostio's giving us all the good good materials.
Can't believe he laid out the whole strat book right then and there.
I mean, just pulling a page out of Team Secret's book, right?
Yeah.
Just hit A every time on Haven and it worked.
You know, but now all the players know, everyone knows. Oh boy! But see, even when you know what's coming, it's very hard to deal with this young man. Jogamo has been unreal. Truly does have that dog in him. Real talk. I mean, just even when you have a conversation with the kid, you can just tell he's got that attitude that just really propels him. It gives him a good perspective on the game, and he approaches that in the server as well.
He really does. And I mean, look, we've been flipping back and forth as, you know, we highlight on EG and whatnot, you know, which player do we want to talk about? You can talk about anybody. Honestly, all of these players deserve to be highlighted. They deserve to be featured because they have all had their individual performances. They have all had their impact. It's not just the Demon 1 show. As much as Boostio's joking, saying like, "Oh, Demon 1 go kill is the strat," Jogamo has been putting up absolutely insane numbers. Yeah. He's just been so consistent. But then even then, you've got Ethan, you've got Boostio himself, who continue to deliver, and it's just an excellent full-fledged roster. There's not really a weakness. You know, nobody's been having really like off performances so far. It's just been strength across the board.
Yeah, and it's the way they play off each other as well. I mean, almost every one of those highlights that we just saw from Jogamo was set up by the initiators or by someone else to really get him going, whether it be leading with those sky flashes, leading with the breach utility, with the fault lines, the stuns and those kind of things, to make sure that he's set up for success when he's on that raise. And when he strips over to the Omen, he's almost just as good. I mean, he's able to anchor really well. He's got great timings with the paranoias and all those other things. So this is a really great thing for this squad, to have a Raze player who can come in on these maps now where you need Raze, you need Fracture, you need Split. In particular, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of those maps here today because of the way they've been playing on them, and that really seems to be their key to success, is to have that flexibility between some of these different roles.
And that, I think, is a part that oftentimes gets pushed aside because Jogamo's such an impact fragger, but he also has a very versatile agent pool as well. He could play a bunch of different things. This team does have a lot of looks. It's quite scary.
He does, and we haven't had to see too much of the pool. It's really just been the Raze and the Omen, but even then, that's still such a massive transition as far as how you're going to be playing the map. So we've been seeing him go over to the Omen when they're playing on things like Ascent and whatnot, but then otherwise, he's on that Raze. But regardless of which one he's playing, he's still impactful. He's still fragging out of control. Yeah,
he has been really, really awesome to watch. And let's go ahead and hear from the man himself, because here's Jogamo on today's matchup, as well as why getting 13-0'd by Loud genuinely changed everything. Take a look.
It felt really nice to just get that revenge, and like we just know we have control over that map, especially with the new meta which is we're trying to bring in, which is the Sova. I think that just can beat almost any team that does not expect a dart, because the dart's really like random on that map. Like, it used to be Fade Eye, but no one's ever seen Sova, so give credits to Calm for that as well. Just polishing all that stuff out. My brother did come for the Loud game that we lost, the 13-0, and I think from that day, like, I definitely woke up and I was like, this might be my last year being a pro. I just kind of was scared about that, and then from that day, I just like had no more cares. I just didn't care. Like, if we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose, but as long as I try my hardest and I know that I was gonna grind out and make sure these rounds are long as I can, I think that's been my motivation since then.
You gonna do it? Aspas is there. Loud's gonna get dangerous here. Demon 1! Oh, this guy is monstrous!
Team Liquid, we scrimmed them before we had their matchup that's coming up, and they're looking insane. Like, Nats is crazy. Like, he's always been hyped, and I just actually want to play him on stage. Like, I know he has some good lurking, but I'm ready to play against Nats. I think it's gonna be sick.
And I think that is the reason why you got to put respect on Jogamo's name, man. Most people that walk in that situation, they'll point fingers. They'll look at what went wrong, who did their thing wrong, blah, 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 all that garbage. No, that team hunkered down and got to work, Seth.
Yeah, they did. And I mean, yes, it was a 13-0, but they were still able to take a map in that set where no one expected it. They thought it was, you know, everyone kind of said, oh, this is going to be a 2-0 blowout. Loud is loud. They're going to be able to beat EG. So yes, while it does sting a lot to end things with that 13-0 loss, the bounce back clearly has been seen. You know, he said, we're going to hunker down. I'm going to give it my all in every single series from here on out. That has been evident. That is absolutely noted in the performances that he's put up ever since then.
Yeah. And I think it's a trust in the process thing. I mean, I think this is for both of these teams where they had struggles early and they said, okay, let's work on our team strategy. This isn't one individual player making mistakes. This is a bigger picture thing. How do we square this away? How do we get all of our ideas on the same page? How do we all start playing together and working off of each other better?
Yeah, it's been really just been a genuine joy to see these teams grow over the course of the season. But of course, early on in the show, we asked you guys a very train-related question. Which team is on track for the upper bracket final? Of course, the results are in, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. What you guys said on the internet. It's the Evil Express is on track for an upper bracket final today. Clinton, how you feel about that?
I'm just happy the paper train's making the board here, because there's two reasons for that, right? A,
paper thin.
B, HyperX. See, this is a double whammy.
Paper train, paper thick. Love it. All right.
I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, granted, look, I think EG, they come in here, they're on the Cinderella run. I think people want to see them succeed, but I am surprised to see only a 10% vote there for the side of Team Liquid, because this is a team that are champions. They need to be respected. They also have veterancy behind them, so I am shocked to see a little bit of a lesser turnout for that squad.
All right, real quick before we jump into it, I just want one word. Who you think's winning?
EG.
EG.
I'll go TL.
Team, the desk is split. I feel like I'm picking between my cousins over here because I love both of these teams equally, so I'm going to stay out of this one. But
what?
I'm sorry,
Come
I can't. Redgar's my boy. I DM'd him as soon as they won, and then Boostio's my homie. It's very hard for me. Everyone on those teams are all fantastic. I wish everyone can win, but that's not the way it works in these competitions because we have two incredible matchups today. EG versus Team Liquid, Fnatic versus HyperX. Day 8 of VALORANT Masters Tokyo starts right now.
Last night I can't sleep at all, so I'm really nervous. When I'm walking on the stage, I feel overwhelmed. Oh, I'm here.
Sometimes things happen out of our control that can hit our mental. Finals at lock-in, my game wasn't going good. I felt like I'm not speaking as much as I did in previous games, and I just felt the same feeling as I did 2 years ago.
But everyone in HyperX never give up. It's 5 people, one heart. So that's why I'm gonna try my best.
I need to do my best as a teammate. I need to start communicating, and I think that brought me back to the game. We lost to them in Copenhagen, and so did Leo when he was in Guild, so really looking forward to the rematch.
ผมรักในการแข่งขันมากแล้วก็ดีใจที่ได้อยู่ตรงนี้แล้วก็ได้พิสูจน์บางอย่างออกไปแล้วก็อยากให้ทุกคนได้มีความสุขที่ได้ดู We have to take the GL.
Some people say it's the easiest role in the game. I'd say that's the complete opposite. You're the front man, you're the spearhead. You're going in first. When people doubt you or doubt your team, you need to be able to do things that you've never seen anyone do.
I've only been here for 2 months. I'm learning everything. I'm just trying everyone with 0 experience. Just wait until I get that experience.
I do think they're in very good form. They play very well together. It just seems in sync.
Of a scale of 1 through 10, how of my peak I am right now in Valorant, maybe a 7.
I have no doubt or anxiety about what other people think. The most important thing is that I do the job that's been given to me.
People put a lot of words to compare me, but to be honest, I'm just Demon 1.
All right, match 1. Let's go ahead and get started. TL, you are higher seed. Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So EG, you will be Team A, and we'll start with your first ban.
We will ban Bind.
Bind, your ban.
We are banning Pro.
Burrow. EG, map number 1.
We pick Fracture.
Side on Fracture.
What do I start with Fracture? Your chips.
Defense, okay.
Alright.
Map number 2.
We're gonna pick Haven.
Haven. Side on Haven.
Unexpected.
Countered.
Oh, we'll go defense, Haven.
Defense. Okay, so we're gonna start with the next set of bands, starting with EG. You have Ascent, Lotus, and Split.
Check out Lotus.
You have Lotus. Okay. You have Ascent and Split.
We remove this and pennies. Okay, we ban Ascent.
Ban Ascent. Map number 3 is Split. EG side on Split.
Defense, please.
Defense. Okay, so we're gonna go through this really quick, make sure we're all good to go. First set of bands, we have EG with Bind, TL with Pearl. Map number 1 is Fracture with TL on Defense. Map number 2 is Haven with EG on Defense. Next set of bands are Lotus and Ascent. Decider number 3 is Split with EG on Defense.
Yeah.
Good?
Yes.
Good luck, Tebow.
Good luck,
guys.
Good luck.
Evil geniuses.
Two teams from different parts of the world who faced similar adversity this season, but despite it all managed to persevere. No one gave them the time of day, but now this day belongs to them. Evil geniuses, Team Liquid, let's get it on.
They earned it. The time of day is theirs, and everyone has to pay attention to these two squads now because they have been absolutely captivating in their runs to get to this very moment. And I cannot wait to see this clash. Can we just start the game already? We know the maps are, just get in there.
I'm with you, man.
But let's get the agent select. We'll find out when we get in the lobby.
Real quick, though, let's talk about the maps real fast, Paper Thin, because honestly, seeing that Fracture come in first, that's pretty big for EG, a tone setter without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a map they've been very good on. They have great reads on this map. Their rotations are phenomenal. Everything about the way they play this map, I love. They kind of have a really unique read on the way to play it compared to some of the teams that like to run the Neon and things like that. That hasn't really bothered them playing against some of those high-tempo teams like Lao, you know, with Aspas switching over to the Neon. So this is a really good start. I like this map pool a lot for EG.
EG, at the beginning, I'm right there with you, and I feel like this could very well go to 3. I say this all the time, and it never happens, so hopefully it does happen today.
Jinx.
Because that Fracture, there's 7-2 on it this year right now, EG. They have been so strong. This is their bread and butter, dropping it only twice this year to teams, you know, like Loud previously. And then they were able to best them again just, you know, a couple days ago. So it was a really strong performance from them on this one. But then you get to Haven as a map too, and that's where it starts to get concerning for them because this year they're 1-4. It has been one of their weaker maps in this pool. So I feel like as long as TL are able to show up today, if they're in form, that this is going to go the distance, that we are going to be seeing that split at the end of the belt.
Yeah, and we saw that Team Liquid has a really good read on Haven, especially against EDG. They had even though EDG was throwing some really unique, really interesting things at them, they still handled it very nicely. So yeah, certainly you got to feel good about that. But then, you know, you go back over to Split, you get Jogamo back on that raise, and I feel pretty good about EG here today. I mean, they did beat NRG on Haven last time. They do run the Astra instead of the Omen in their last Haven matchup, so that's going to be maybe one of the stylistic differences that you're going to see there. So that sometimes can play a role, but you know, generally teams like the Omen, because of the ability to use the TPs, you know, the smokes are a little bit easier to control. You're a little less predictable because the Astra Star is one of the most predictable kind of utility in the game, right? You know where those stars are going to go. You kind of can anticipate how your team is going to approach the map.
All right, and here we go with the Prime Gaming Agent select for Fracture, and there's that pesky Cypher that could be a thorn in the side of EG, courtesy of Nats.
And this is kind of one of the big reasons why I strayed towards TL being able to take this series, because they have better incident. And I think if they can knock down, if they can pick up, start off this map in a really strong fashion, that's going to offset potentially the mentality of this younger squad of EG. And if you could do that, if you can inflict that mental damage, that can be your avenue to success. But that Cypher trapping Jogamo, stopping those really aggressive dives in onto the sites here on Fracture. Nats has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he's shown time and time again that throughout history, he's able to deal with it.
And I'm really keyed in and calm right now with those shock darts to take care of that Cypher utility. How well is he going to be ready for Nats lineups?
Well, we are ready to go, and for this epic matchup, you needed 2 epic freaking casters, and I couldn't think of a better pair than my friends, Brent and Sideshow.
Thank you very much, GB. Yeah, you guys have set this matchup, I think, quite perfectly, because you have 2 teams here that could not have had bigger strides coming from lock-in to now with this matchup here. Josh, if I saw this on paper at lock-in, I'm calling in sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, this match would not have been a banger, but we are literally witnessing two teams here, Liquid and EG, that are reaching their peaks at just the right time.
Yeah, the glow-up is absolutely absurd from both of these squads. And for Liquid, they already managed to win their domestic tournaments, be able to lift that trophy, outpace Fnatic, and yeah, peak at the right time. With this EG squad, though, was saving themselves a little bit. The form that they've been on at this tournament is ludicrous. I don't know whether we've seen anything quite like it. They've won 11 out of 12 of their pistol rounds. That's like 92% win rate in pistols. That doesn't happen. And then they've taken that and overall been converting about 2/3 of all of the halves into a bonus round as well. So they go up 3-0, often 4-0. You cannot beat a team that's doing that. You have to stop them.
Already we're seeing some ideas at play. There was a nade being held there by Safe, but very slow beginning. And you're right, Josh. It's EG's pistol rounds, conversion into the bonus as well. That's been their bread and butter. Shock darts close, just in case there are some trips. There's a fault line that's sent flying as well into halls.
And Demon One's just feeling this out. He knows that there's a reactive push coming. Yeah, you can feel it in his bones.
Absolutely. That's why that triple face and triple contact played as it can to watch some of that. Demon One is going to be quite integral here to try and put a stop to this push. Spots it out with the jiggle. He's going to be calling for reinforcements potentially.
And that was a headshot through the box onto Safe. He's down to 62 health. What is this guy?
Set up now that Solcast has a bit of a one-way smoke, but there's been a timing. No one was watching for that one. Boostio's already lurked his way through. Trips being caught as well from Boombot. Nax catching that time and pushing through the smoke, finding a kill.
And that's great. That helps the rest of his team control Arcade for the retake.
Really quite important. A bit of a tap onto the spike to try and force out Util again. Another fight to be taken. Running and gunning is the name of the game here for Save. Trailblazer now trying to supplement, pushing forwards as well, but that's a double face. EG. I'm sure that they've got good control over this one. Left it up to just Redgar. Sole player from Arcade. He was spotted out earlier from Demon One. And yeah, EG, not a kind of team they're going to be leaving any gaps in the play. You can see it already with the high-low setup. Should be clean, and it is at that. Quite clinical. Another pistol round win for EG, Josh.
Keep track of them at home.
How far can they really take this, man? Because they are burning bright with this kind of form, but how long can they keep it going?
That's my big question, honestly. Because I don't think we've seen a team be able to keep this up. I mean, obviously you can't keep this up long-term, winning 90+% of your pistol rounds and taking a ton of them into winning bonuses. But can you keep it up for a tournament? It actually could be possible. Let's keep track of that over the course of this match. But on the other side of things, I watched many Team Liquid Eco wins in their run in EMEA, and partly due to the performance of these players with the Ghosts. They've got 4 players grouped up here going into Boostio.
It's outlandish. I mean, Boostio's playing a common position for the Sentinels. That's a turret that takes out Safe. Okay, I mean, are we going to get started with this? Some bit of tomfoolery from Team Liquid early on.
He was weak off the Bulldog shot, but also shouldn't happen.
How is that occurring? Okay.
Team Liquid really are the tomfoolery team.
Yeah, you just...
But
know,
it sometimes disguises how excellent their tactical play is, too. Liquid really are going to give you some amazing rounds in this match. I can guarantee it. They'll also give you a bit of trolling.
They will. They do love a bit of trolling. Redgar tagged up by the drone, flashed up. Look at that util. I mean, we talk about the excellency with the supportive util that comes out from players like Ethan, Com. But yeah, I mean, you just got to keep an eye out for it, honestly, over the course of this entire series, because it is amazing. Enabling players like Jorgamo, who's really also coming alive. This guy's always been a fantastic player, but on this map in particular, it's Demon One who's playing the Brimstone, taking a bit of a backseat. Jorgamo playing the Raze.
And I would say over the course of the Americas season, Jorgamo's not been as impactful as he was last year. Throughout 2022, he looked like a star player when he was on the Jet and the Raze. This year, taking a little more of a backseat on some of the more supportive roles. And then here at this tournament, found his form again and just looking absolutely electric. A lot of the other players on EG, absolutely integral to the way that the team plays.
Yeah.
Right? Ethan and Com with the supportive utility, potential for clutches. Demon One, we all know what he's able to produce. You've seen it just with his raw aim. But then you've got like the X factor, and to me, Jorgamo is that X factor player. Right, Brent?
Here we go.
Now let's see what EG have got cooking.
Remember when they played against Loud, this bonus round ended up going into tower. It was a huge util dump onto Sadak, but it was important that they got Com's Hunter's Fury online for that play. Com has not got the ult around. They're 3 orbs away from Boostios. Do they make a play for the lockdown? That to me seems a bit too slow.
A bit too slow, a bit too obvious. You can be playing for the orbs like that, but EG, they do love to cook on these bonus rounds. The city approach, it's Com who's holding the north side. Deep dart towards drop. This is meant to make it feel like, I believe that there's more players towards that direction. A lot of teams do that with their 1-4 defaults on Fracture. They run their initiator player on the north side, and it does make it feel like there's more presence there.
Yeah, great point. And Team Liquid are using the same setup they did in the pistol.
But a deep push as well. This reclearance through into main. Turret's going to be touching that one into, well, Satchel. Jogamo jumps on the opportunity and strikes, and he's rewarded with the kill onto Yampi. There's another reclearance. Halls, the doors opens up. They're going to be aware of this. Lucio's just holding it quite. Delayed the spray transfer. That's cheeky little two-piece. Might have done enough as well to salvage some portion of this round because he's brought it to a 3 versus 3.
I think that is the play that potentially saves things for Liquid. You're right. Because if he falls there, the whole of the A site completely open. Now AG has to do a little more. Save still has full utility here, tucked into such an unusual spot at back dice. Jogamo has nade for it.
You see players do use it in that portion. Safe underhand nade as well, preventing a deep push as well, but it is the tight squeeze. Wrapped around, Com pushing past it now. Aftershock in his face, Shock does to try and clear through. Not shying away from the fight, is he? Takes it straight to tower and regains control of this one. Left up to Nats and low enough that a single bullet will do it. There's another bonus round for you.
It started already, Bren. It started already. The EG snowball. They win the pistol. 12 out of 13 pistol rounds at this event won. Only 1 that they've dropped against Loud on this map, in fact. And then they convert the bonus.
Yeah.
So that's now, I'm trying to keep track, that's 9 out of 12 bonus rounds won as well. It's just truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you see it with the small eyebrow raise on safe space. How do they win that? It's not through any kind of elaborate utility play. It's by baiting out dry reactive info pushes from Team Liquid and then punishing them.
Sheer punishment happening here. A lot of presence over towards Halls. Nats is essentially alone when he's making that play. Cage down with the Tam as well. Play now towards it. Save with the Sheriff shots. They do land, so Jogamo will fall. Maybe getting a little bit too aggressive. They attempted to pivot there. I mean, Nats is Solgas. Sheriff, Marshall. It's the one before being traded. Sight is going to be theirs, though, so she should be able to get this plan down.
But this is a major opportunity for Team Liquid to strike back quickly. Here are the ults, though.
I think this is quite reasonable. Using the lockdown to try and clear this one out. Team Liquid going to be feeling that time pressure again. Yampi going for a cheeky play. The time is running so damn low here, though. And he is going to get detained. Not going to be hunting this one out, though. Probably going to be suspecting that he's actually in spawn. So Yampi's going to be tucked safe in that position. Yeah. And they're not going to be aware of this at all. This is actually a lovely play. I quite like this. I don't think Com's going to be expecting it. Shots whipping. No. Okay, rifle aim. They know that tower's compromised. It's Yampi up there. Nanoswarms, though, to delay even further. Ethan just left to hold it down. Satchel pushing him back again. The Nanoswarm kill. Boostio. Ridiculous
no time.
with it. No time. 6 bullets. There it is. Round win. Everybody falling in the end. No survivors on either side.
Yeah, Safe choosing also not to keep the Vandal into the round that's coming up next. So, weird one, but okay.
I don't think that was intentional, though.
Yeah, it's not going to affect the economy that heavily either. But all right, everybody falls on both sides, and EG managed to get away with that one. After, you know, some nice plays there that could have potentially turned things around.
Yeah.
I am worried, though, a little bit about the way that Liquid are playing this defense, because they're stacking 3 players over towards A Halls a lot, and so much of what they're doing is just without utility. It's a very, very slow composition that Team Liquid are playing. It's excellent if EG just run into them, but EG themselves recognizing that if they slow the pace down, Liquid don't have that much ability to go and grab info around the map.
Yeah. This double smokes comp as well that Liquid are running used to be much stronger in the chamber meta. You could have your chamber player set up in A Halls at this corner here, which the drone is clearing now, and with the Omen one-way smoke on top of it, it was really quite difficult to chew through, but the A Halls hold becomes a little bit weaker, doesn't it?
I mean, Redguard was set up for a trap play over towards Dish there, off the cam. And now it's completely stuck against a Halls pinch.
Fury. Into the corner. Expenditure of the ultimates to see if he gets the value. He does. Redgar caught out alone on the side. Still swarming onto the location, but kills are being found. 2 players already falling. It's up to Com to try and stop this reflank attempt as well. He's an important one. About to take contact into 2 of these players. Loses his duel. So they lose the backside of Hall, slowly losing positioning over this post plant. Pushing them up onto the site. Here's a showstopper. Let rip close though, safe. Doesn't land it. Doesn't hit it at all. Nats has also just been waiting and wandering right into the crosshair. Bustio, deep flash on top of it. Needs to be a fight taken and forced out of them through main. Overall, popped off. Nats really landing his shots. Precision's there. Seekers earns and a wide face into it. Yampi. Good take. Understanding what they needed to prioritize there from Team Liquid, taking away that horse control.
And already dangerous though. Redgar was set up, like I said, for some kind of trap play over towards Dishko. Caught on sight by the Hunter's Fury. And it is the reflank retake that comes through. EG didn't really know how to respond to it. They didn't actively go and push forwards in the post line, but they also didn't send anybody backwards to help with Com. And if those flanking retakes are going to find value, Team Liquid are going to lean into them. Liquid are one of those teams that likes to hammer home strats that work.
Yeah. It's a good understanding from Team Liquid. Earns them the round win. First one on the board for them. Dart's going quite far out here. Here's a rolling thunder. Anything else to push off of this? There's a snake bite at your feet. Ethan, he's being sandwiched and squeezed. Showstopper from the back. And already the kills are landing still. It's Team Liquid again. It's that fast reclear from drop that I was talking about prior. Ethan wasn't aware of it, but they get the plant down anyway. And look at the reposition. All of EG playing close up into the spawn. They realize that they've lost arcade control.
Yeah, now you see the reaction from EG, what they should have done in the prior round.
It's a nasty shot to hit. I mean, the nade pressure behind him still finding it. Redgar, the last one left, and yeah, watching the wrong angle for it. EG. It's deafening silence across the arena, man. I can hear the primal screams from the EG players from here.
It's the ultimates, though, Brent. There is no team in the game right now using their ultimates as well as EG are. It actually reminds me of Fnatic at Lock-in. And Fnatic themselves still use ults really cleverly. But the way that EG have been combining them together, especially on Fracture where you can access the ult orbs and get more ults online, this team combines those ults together to be able to win eco swing rounds like I've never seen. They're playing 2025 Valorant.
Valorant of the future, I believe.
I mean, look, they're one away from being able to get their orbital strike online this round too. You know, they're using ults to chain into ults.
And, well, straight up duels as well. Listen, Soulcasting have a, what was that, a Vandal or a Guardian? Not too sure, but can win it out. Dart spots it. Methodical. Oh, really? Redgar?
That's messy.
He's tagged up there by the turret. Yeah, Bustio couldn't quite kill him.
Remember, Bustio's the IGL, may have been looking at the minimap in that situation. Redgar, what in the Redgar am I looking at again?
Oh,
he's just silently taking the ropes behind the entirety of EG.
Yep.
Hasn't caught a timing, but is going to be faster than they will expect on this flank.
It was Team Liquid's fast flank into A-Horse to take away that space.
Oh, no.
He's got his knife out though, Redgar, man, please.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, boy.
But I can respect it, you know? This is the round to try something like that. When you're at an eco disadvantage, a player disadvantage. But the threat neutralized by EG being diligent and rechecking balls. So they're going to go up to 6 here, 6-1. This is absolutely dominant. And classic EG. Everything that's been working for them so far in this tournament, the pistol, the bonus, the ult plays, it's the same story. Yeah. It's not the exact same tactics, but it's the same story.
The playbook is thick, man. They have so many different looks on this map. Individually, they're all popping off as well. And this is a real test for Team Liquid. You know, we haven't really gone into this match thinking that, but you know, Team Liquid haven't played as many matches compared to a team like EG. We know that EG's in red-hot form. We've seen that consistently now over many series that they've played so far at Tokyo. And this is a match that's playing for minimum top 3.
Yeah.
That's essentially what this is for. You move into the upper finals, the lowest you can drop is in that top 3 position. It's a huge stakes on the line.
What? Okay.
For Liquid, so we do need to see that step up, I think, to try and get back into this map.
Team Liquid are playing an anti-lockdown setup, but not by north-side crunching, as most teams would do, with an aggressive composition. With their slower, more defensive comp, they're actually planning to just play full B retake. You saw the Cypher and the Viper, Nats and Soulcast just leave the site so early on. They're not caught by the orbital strike either because nobody had to leave.
Something that EG do like to do. They comboed a lockdown into orbital strikes and Hunter's Fury, so good awareness from Liquid.
Okay, but now with the plant, Com gets his Hunter's Fury online. This is the threat though. Retake coming from many different flanks.
Yeah, it's 3 players onto on the arcade north side. Trailblazer leads this one in. They are still running out of time. Snakebite at his feet. His Hunter's Fury is being used preemptively. I mean, at this angle as well, straight into the spawn. Just too much to really watch for. The nade over the top, sails right through. It does collect the kill into tower here. Feeling the heat. EG now, Team 1 has to take a time in through the smoke. Will it be watched for? Team Liquid are really starting to do the most. Spamming into the smoke. Wild. It is blind. It is a pivot. It is absolute DPI increases as well as Team Liquid were just looking for any sort of possibility to get a kill.
And if I ask you, what won EG that round? Would you possibly say the ultimates? The fact that they had a free access to the B site because there's a lockdown on one side and an Omen ult on the other. The composition that Team Liquid's picked, it's not a bad comp for Fracture. I don't want that to be people's takeaway. But you look at the ult differential, and that's why EG are so dominant with this composition on Fracture.
Yeah.
Is because they have insane ults to play around every round.
They min-max it. They really do. I mean, Team Liquid, their setup there did indicate to me, at least, that they had done their homework and they were ready for some level of play. Because Nats wasn't playing, you know, particularly close up, straight to the lockdown angle.
No,
they didn't get caught by the orbital strike. He was pretty far back. They had plenty of players on the north side as well, where they thought it was going to be weaker with the arcade reflank. But
listen, that is all just to say that Team Liquid still had to play a 5v5 retake.
Yep.
And even though they approached it in the right way, having, you know, 2 towards arcade, 2 towards tree, 1 holding spawn, and then Redguard went away, so there was 3 arcade. Like, I like the approach from Team Liquid, but they're still at that point having to play a 5v5 retake where there's ults on board for EG, and that's really difficult. Ethan the whole time just acting as the final layer of defense in tunnel with his aftershock to stop the plant, an angle onto Redguard. It's immaculate gameplay. EG are currently playing the best Valorant right now. Whether or not they can keep it up is the only big question for me.
to see some kind of response from Liquid. There's a fast play, disrespecting first layer of this Viper wall. Already taking up all that space towards Arcade, making a lot of noise in the process. There it is, aftershock with the boombot. The emphasis there. Snakebite to push back anybody who might be pushing in the tower, and well, Soulcast pre-aiming the position of where he's expecting maybe the satchel peak. So Jorgamo falls, but he wants to refight. This does get a second one before it's traded, but the fight's just been won out anyway.
Com got 2 from Arcade. How has he managed that?
He's just alone when he's doing it. He's holding the angle as the, I'm guessing Team Liquid just trying to flood out of the smokes. But
perfect awareness though from Com.
And he's brought it right back into their favor once more. EG have just been in control of almost every round. Now, this has been slowed down a tad. They lost control of Canteen, and look at it. They wait for the fault line to come back on, to regenerate, to set themselves back up onto the angle, but they don't actually take the space from it. Forcing out the ults. Now Busio just takes a straight up fight. Knows where he is, and that is just precise. It's surgical, man.
So well played. Incredibly well done there. I mean, we've got to see Com's kills in the replay, I think, because those are the ones that end up winning the round for him. So let's take a look. Dodges the flash. Finds the... Oh, yeah, just very good. Safe a little late on the trade, perhaps, but Yampi was certainly thinking that he would be able to get the line in the favored fight with that flash. Team Liquid had forced into that round as well because they recognized there weren't any ults online for EG. So they don't just want to go for an eco and grant EG more opportunity to build up the ult economy. But now, after having won a straight-up gun round without a big ult advantage, thanks to Com's 2K and Busio towards the end, now EG have a chance to go ult farming again. Even if they don't pick up ult orbs, they're favored to get them off the bodies of Team Liquid.
We are approaching the end of this first half, and it's just been non-stop. Turret takes the contact once more, but Busio's ready to receive and shut it down. Oh, man. Any pushback The line is held. Alarmbot even spotting out safe, so he knows that there's one additional player, maybe more. Also trying to fight him out. Nate to set him up. It's a beautiful piece of util there from safe, but just buys him a bit of space. Does have the showstopper on top of it, but really you need to see a bit more. With Com lurking this deep as well, you don't expect this of your Team Liquid.
No, the pressure from the front is just too much. You're not even thinking about this.
I mean, Com set up for the freest kill of his life. He should just take this. He does. Bit of a play now towards Hall. It's on top of it, but again, the setup is just too damn good. Dart lighting him up. Last player. They know where he is. Safe. Through the nade earlier. 3-2-1 double face. Satchel to try and set up a nicer fight. There's one. Can't reset the aim for the second one, though. So 9-1, EG. This is just sheer domination.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's a team that is unstoppable right now. The playbook on Fracture, I was scratching my head a little bit at Liquid, not opting to ban it. Fracture is the best map of EG right now. They have so many different looks at it.
The thing is, Liquid just permaban Pearl.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see a team in this tournament beat EG until their map pool works against them. Because look at the map pool that we've got for this match. I would say EG's best two are Fracture and Split.
Yeah.
And yet they've got in here with Liquid allowing them Fracture and actually choosing to go to Split for the final instead of Ascent. It's a bit of a picky poison thing, though, because EG are great at Ascent, too. All right, so now EG, more ults available here. This is the same play that we saw previously from them.
Yep, showstopper. Okay, Hunter's Fury into the Rolling Thunder. This time, Jogamo. Good fall there. Red Garcia to contain. It is even fights being taken, but again, Com is that last line of defense as he just pushes up onto drop. Catches it onto Yampi. 2 players left standing. They know that Nats likes to play in spawn here. And already Boostier's just creeped up towards it, but is Nats going to be aware? That's a question, because they have missed each other just like that. Granted, Nats a kill. It's 2 versus 2 now. Ult, giving a bit of information. Look at Ethan. Just trying to hunt for a timing here. Neural theft, revealing his position. Still jiggling onto the corner. Spam down. Bit of damage. Com, you know his positioning as well. Just fired that dart off Snakebite to collect a kill as well, but no, he's vulnerable up. Shots don't land for Soulcast, left it up to Nats, and look at the discipline immediately. Retreating up. It's a crossfire setup. As soon as Ethan takes contact, it's going to be a swing from Com. In fact, okay, well, Com just swings out while time's running low anyway.
Yeah.
They know the round's won. It's just so damn clean.
It really is.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dropping the bag at the end as well. Com has been performing spectacularly on an individual level for this map. He's really made the difference in a couple of crucial rounds, getting big kills there on Soulcast, and the one that he got from drop as well. Now, it does look weird from Jogamo here, but I do want to explain that this is a similar set play to one that they ran, I believe, against Loud, and so Jogamo wants to go for different pathing. Previously, he went for that double blast pack, but he went into sand to follow up, so he's thinking, I'll swap it up this time a little bit, just to throw people off, and he ends up, you know, improvising into his own breach ult. So there is a little bit of method to the madness, even when it looks silly.
A little bit troll. He's earned the ult now, though. Picks up the orb. Showstopper's online. Final round and a half. They want to end it with a bang. Spotting out the cam. Flash to set him up into tower. Clears that one through. Playing into spawn.
And Team Liquid are trying to go for these flank retakes, which I think is a nice idea. But what utility? How are they getting their way in? And can they stop the post-plant setup?
That is a nano swarm at their feet, so nobody can follow up through those seekers, by the way. That was laid down earlier. Com does fall, though.
That's big.
It could be a potential massive opening, but the timing with that fight that Jogamo takes is just immaculate. Lucio holding close to Jenny, a bit of a jiggle of the movement. Again, he's got his teammates to back him up. EG. Man's backing with it. Nats, though, pushing all the way forwards. A bit of a tap onto the spike, forces out the aftershock. There needs to be an attempt and a play towards this one. Still low, Ethan. Last one left. Onto the spike, it's a tap. Damage done, gets him off of it. He knows it, he takes the fight again. EG are firing on all cylinders. They are feeling it.
Bren, they don't even need the Red Bull clutch. They could have had a 10-2 half, even if Ethan had lost that.
Mate, it's 11-1.
He just drives another nail into the coffin.
Enemy remaining.
You can't play Fracture against this team. I don't care who you are.
They're just unstoppable. I mean,
you can't play Fracture.
This feels like we should be tossing to the end of the map, but it's not, Josh. It's the halftime.
I have a feeling we might be fairly short.
Possibly. We shall see. I mean, Over the Desk has got plenty prepped for it, but let's send it down to them as well to break down the half.
Wow, wow, wow. Evil geniuses come out all fire cylinder. Well, you know what? English eludes me. I had a little too much coffee. But the point still stands. They're playing so well that your boy can't speak.
It's unbelievable. And like, we were talking about how good Fracture is for them and that we anticipate, like I said, that this could end up maybe going to 3 just because, you know, Haven has been a bit of a thorn in their side. But good God, EG on this map and just in general continue to look absolutely
92%?
Yes.
It's bananas. I mean, winning this many pistols and then having the bonus conversion to back it up, how do you beat a team that's doing that? You can't.
You can't. And the other thing, too, the reason why this is so important to stress, right, is because of the way that Valorant is played in the MR12 format, right? These pistol rounds are freaking important. And Evil Geniuses manages to take it every single time. The bonuses every single time. It has to be daunting to play against Clinton.
Yeah, if you're winning, you know, every pistol, if you're winning both pistols on a map, it's something like 80% that you're gonna win the map itself, like over the history of competitive Valorant. It's just disgusting what they're doing.
I mean, to put it a little bit in context, the second place team right now is Fnatic because they played one series. They went 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And then it was Liquid, who's at 4 and 7 in third place as far as pistol wins are concerned. So just at 57%. For bonuses, T1 is in second place, but they have half the sample size as EG.
Yeah.
75% of the time to be able to start off a half 3-0 up is just absolutely disgusting. I have to agree with Josh and Brett. I think that we're going to be right back on the screen in a matter of moments because this is looking like it's done.
Yeah, with the way that things are looking, it's very clear that Evil Geniuses are men on a mission here to try and end this fracture right away. But I'm not trying to count out Team Liquid quite yet because even though they're struggling a little bit, we've seen them put in these kinds of positions before. It's going to be challenging, but they are a team that can overcome. Let's send it back over to Brendan Sideshow.
You got to put some respect on the name, you know, the #1 EMEA seed coming into this event. All smiles from the Liquid camp as well, if you know, we're paying attention to some of the player camps, but EG are just too damn good with these pistol rounds. Let's see if they can add another one to the stat card, Josh.
I don't think they even need the pistol and bonus to win this game. But
that's a hot take, isn't it?
Well, I mean, let's see if they can get it anyway.
Yeah, let's see it. Decent amount of util. It's going to be lobbed into tower to clear that one through. The nade and the Trailblazer. It's all used together, so they give up pretty much a lot of control of the site. Nanoswarm setup, though. Look at the way this is being played. Soulcast holding it down. It's towards the one fight. Wants to try and take it up, doubled up as well, but Demon One backing away. It's a squeeze. Boostio trying to put the hurt on them. What? That was jumping over the top. Again, they're just fighting and reacting into it. Right up into tower across the ropes. You're not going to be set up for it. Left to just Com. And so finally, another pistol round loss potentially added to the column, but Com's going to be trying to prevent it. Isolates one of the fights. Where's going to be that? It's okay. Double face with the flash. Pistol round for Team Liquid. All smiles. Listen, you know, have fun with it. It's
Team Liquid are a team that like to have fun, keep the energy high, and also it's quite easy to brush off a situation like this because you just go, it's their map pick, GG. Yeah, and you just think about, you know, the ones coming up. Yeah, this one's going to be annoying, I think, for all of the stats fans out there because, like I said, it's another...
That's how we're starting the game!
Yep. Yeah, it's another one of those pistol round losses. They've only had 2 pistol round losses this entire tournament so far, both of them on Fracture. You know, weirdly enough, both on the defense side as well. Clearly a massive gap in their playbook. Potter should be ashamed.
Yeah. Got to go back to the lab. Got to fix that one for later. All kidding, of course, but should be an easy one again. Sights wide open on the A side of the map. Nat's going to be able to collect. Oh, not quite. Oh, no. Wait a second.
Boostio picked up Redgar from Dish.
How's this happening? Uh-oh. Dropping these players.
I mean, you can't give them thrifties as well.
No, you just can't, man. I mean, the site was open, in theory. Okay, now we're going to be able to get that plant down. Have to hold on to Hall's control, but there is 3 players meeting them up close. How do they want to take it? It's a wide jump spot. They do collect onto that one. The dart as well. Nobody can follow, but it's just under save. Oh, boy. It's crumbling. It's crumbling, man. 75 health. Got to do so much more than that. You've handed over the weapons. That is a thrifty win. He's rubbing his tummy. He's hungry. He's a hungry lad.
Oh, God. Even when EG don't win the pistol, EG win the pistol.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Oh. Great shots from Boostio, though. I mean, oh, what was this? We won't talk about that one.
I love the way that they ended up taking this retake as well into halls. I mean, it's Ethan who's... Oh, he wasn't rubbing his tummy, he was tapping his chest, he was gassing himself up.
I like the idea that he was rubbing his tummy.
I thought he was saying, oh, I'm hungry, guys, let's wrap this up. I don't know where I was going with that. I couldn't hear it. Couldn't hear the comms.
The Boostio high-pitched pop-offs have been some of my favorite things to listen to on these comms check-ins as well, though. So here we are, map point for EG. We had a strong suspicion we were getting there in this half, but not exactly sure.
Right here.
We predicted the exact way that we were getting to this point.
Okay.
Launching smoke.
Glad though that Team Liquid are just laughing it off a little bit. I'll be feeling worried as we headed into map 2 if they were all quite stern and stoic, stomping off the stage at some point. This is a common position that Cyphers do like to play on the attack side. Looking close to the wall with the cam to just watch for a deep push out, regrouping.
Yeah, definitely something that Nats likes to do, something that EG could try to punish with a north side crunch at some point, but we may not even get there in terms of their defensive playbook.
Yeah, we'll see. Cam was, again, spotted out there. Nats is going to seek to, again, hold that one line here, but they're just contacting through, trying to take it. Team 1 was crossfire. Oh, the paranoia goes so damn wide. Team 1 couldn't quite land that shot, so crosshair placement wasn't good for it. So Yampi enters himself onto the site. That's going to be the plan from Soulcast. Get themselves into it. Have to hold this back though. It's up to Nats once more. Satchel is so damn wide. He's jumping and skipping it off and well! Can't quite get the two-piece. Almost getting it done. Left it into a 2-on-2. EG, this is for the map. Could isolate these kills alone onto the site. That's Soulcast. Weak enough, he will fall. Sprayed. It's labored. It's messy. Yampi's got the Seekers, has to use it. Jorgamo onto half, dodges the flash. Seekers in his face, and he still wins the fight out. It's just so damn clean. 13-2. This is the team that got 13-0, by the way, and now putting up close to similar score lines against the #1 EMEA seed.
Loud absolutely dismantled by this squad, and it looks like, at least in map 1, Team Liquid to follow. #1 seed means nothing for EG. They are taking down trophy lifters left, right, and center. We got Haven coming up next, which is, I think, the best chance for Team Liquid to find a weakness in EG's map pool. It's a map where Team Liquid have looked good with that double flash comp, and EG have something like a 1-4, it might even be 1-5 record in Americas on Haven. Although there's lots of good teams in that region. There was no real need to show safe down to the turret, was there? But it really was not the greatest omen for how Liquid were going to perform on this map.
I mean, this was a very Liquid game in my mind. I'm not going to lie, it was a bit of a Liquid game. We're all smiles, a lot of individuality as well. We saw some amazing moments from Nats as well, trying to get back up, deadlift a little bit, but EG, they just have too much variation to how they play this map. They're too clean right now.
If you wanted to be harsh on Liquid, you could be. There was a lot of contacting around the map. It didn't look great, but I think just more credit to EG on Fracture.
Absolutely, yeah. That's map 1. Wrapped up entirely. Plenty more in the series left to go as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Have you ever asked yourself after a bad game, what am I missing? Or sought help from impatient friends? Or browsed desperately for answers that only bring up more questions? Your self-doubting days are over with Discovery, the first game-focused AI. Discovery is trained on the world's leading esports athletes to be your everyday personal coach. That's right, Discovery can help you improve your gameplay by giving you tips and strategies to take your game to the next level. Get started at aimlabs.com/discovery.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.